Hey guys, Steve Coxon here from the Steve Coxon Soccer Network. Now today's video is going to be about the 5-step foundation process that every athlete needs to know. From grabbing coaches' attention to planning ID camps, I'm going to break it all down for you, so let's get started. A little bit about myself. I've been involved in this college game for the last 3 decades. First I came over as a full scholarship athlete from England at the D1 level, and then eventually I moved into college coaching, and I've been coaching at D1 Quinnipiac University for the last 18 years, and my role there was mainly the head recruiter. And at the same time I co-founded an ECNL club here in Connecticut called CFC. So I've seen both sides of this journey. So let's go ahead and build this foundation, and the first thing we're going to start off with is your video. Now the key to building a successful highlight video is to get the cameras rolling early. And I'm talking about getting these cameras going as early as 8th grade and 9th grade, because you never get that opportunity to replay games, and if you score a 25-yard screamer and you don't have the cameras rolling, it's as if it didn't happen. So first thing we're going to talk about, get it going early so that we never miss any action and we never miss any of your top clips. So we've got this video here from one of our young players who plays in the MLS named Radine. Now again, he's got some tremendous action and some tremendous strikes on this video. And what I like about Radine's video more than anything is when you look at the first 30 seconds, he's absolutely wowing you. So look at that strike. Now, the first 30 seconds are very important because you want the coach to continue to watch the video. So if you bore them in the first 30 seconds, they're just going to move on to that next video of the next player. So make sure your best clips are in the first 30 seconds, and think of it like a movie trailer. Now, after building your highlight video, the next thing I ask my players to do is to start creating a presence on social media. What I'm asking you to do is to create an X account and create an Instagram account, and then simply post once a week. Now here's an example of one of my clients, Ava, who does a fantastic job on her social media, and she posts clips of goals. She does have a lot of goals, which helps. She scored the winner in the regional semi-finals the other day. So she's posting clips of her goals. She's posting that there's an image when she won play of the game. And then if we scroll down, you'll see her posting clips of her training. So you don't have to overdo it. Once a week is fine. And really what you should do is take your highlight video clips and then cut them up and use them to post on your social media. So you're getting one clip and you're actually getting 2 uses out of it. Now the third step to all of this is, once we've got our video set up and we've got our social media account rolling, we're now going to start creating emails to send out to college coaches. Now again, there is a way of doing this correctly and there's a way of doing this wrong. So if you scroll down here to our sample email, which you'll see on our website, one of the first things you're going to notice jumps out is the subject line. Now if you write a boring subject line, 2027 ECNL player, well, I probably get 100 emails that say the same thing. So you've got to make that subject line jump out at the coach. So what we've done in this one is 2025 speedy striker, 12 goals, 8 assists. So immediately you know exactly what you're getting. If I'm as a coach and I'm looking for a quick forward, I'm just going to open that email immediately. And then as you go into the email, what you notice about it is we talk about the program that we're sending the email to. So in this email, we're talking about the program's success of winning the Midwest Conference. So you've got to do a little bit of homework, but that's exactly what a college coach wants to notice. They want to notice that you're not just cutting and pasting this email and sending it out to every coach in the nation. So spend a little time doing your homework, figure out a little personal detail about the school, and then put that into your email. And then the main body of your email is just discussing your achievements. Then it will have a little link to your highlight video, and if you're playing in an event, it should also have the event schedule. Now the final thing I like to add into every one of these emails is to have a little call to action at the end of the email. So it could be something as simple as, Coach, do you have an ID clinic coming up that I can attend? Or, Coach, are you expecting to attend this showcase coming up? Or you could, if you're getting more advanced, you could be, hey coach, is there any chance you could get on a call and discuss my recruiting journey with you? So always end on a call to action, because you want to try and get into a dialogue with these college coaches. Now, one thing that's very, very important, make sure you proofread these emails. As a coach at Quinnipiac, I don't know how many emails I received that said, hey coach, I can't wait to play for the Fairfield Stags, or I can't wait to be playing for Iona, and I'm obviously coaching at Quinnipiac. That email immediately gets discarded. And then you can't help the situation by following up and then apologizing. It's just making matters worse. So proofread your emails, make sure that it's sending to the right coach with the right name of the right school. Now, once we've built our highlight video, our social media, and we've created an email to college coaches, now we've got to decide where we're going to send this email. So we've got to build a list of schools, and you'll see there at the top, I use the word realistic schools in this, because realistic is probably the most important aspect of building this list. Now everybody wants to play at the D1, the big D1 schools, the Dukes and the Wake Forest and the North Carolinas, but can you play there? Does your resume fit with that type of player? That type of school is, on the female side, are recruiting national team players. So do you have a national team background? If you don't, we've got to build a list that is an academic fit and a realistic soccer fit. So a few things we can do in regards to that is go to your club's alumni page and analyze the path of others. So where does your club send some of their top players? Is it predominantly D1 and the Power 4? Or they send them players to D2 schools and D3 schools. So you'll see the track record of your club, and that's a very, very important thing to note. Now, the other thing you can do is you can have honest conversations with your coaches. Ask your coach, where do you see me playing? I'm sure for the most part these coaches have sent players into college. Ask him or her to compare your game with players that he's already sent into the college ranks, so you get a good sense of where you belong. And then the third thing I ask you to do is, once we have sent out these emails, is monitor responses. So are you getting responses from D2 schools and D3 schools? Or if you're getting responses from mid-level D1 schools, then let's double down on that. Eliminate the Power 4 schools and focus in on these mid-majors and double down on the mid-majors. So it's very, very important that you build a realistic list. Because if you build a list that doesn't fit, you are going to spend the next year or 2 years chasing the wrong schools, wasting thousands and thousands of dollars attending the wrong ID camps, and thousands of hours flying all over the country for schools that simply aren't a good fit. Now, the last thing I ask my clients to do when we're starting off on this journey is we plan the next 6 months. And basically, we're going to include showcases in that, and we're going to include ID camps. So actually, my website here, which you see the inside of, has a bunch of recruiting tools. And there you go, straight away. Here is a list of ID clinics for girls. And then we also have the same thing for boys. And you can quickly scroll down, and we're adding to this every day, of all the ID clinics and camps that are available to players in the Northeast. And also very important is tracking the amount of commitments that these schools have. So again, on my website that you see, we're tracking every single Northeast school and how many players they are signing. So if you notice, for class of 2027, they've signed 181 players so far. And the schools in green are actually schools that have already replaced their entire junior class. So if you're thinking about attending an ID clinic at one of these schools in green, you're basically spending dollars, and you're spending hours and hours driving 3 hours to Dartmouth, let's say, and they've pretty much already recruited their entire junior class. So you've got to ask yourself a big question. Are Dartmouth still recruiting players for that class? And unless you've had a long, deep conversation with the Dartmouth head coach or the entire staff, I would probably avoid attending a camp such as Dartmouth. But you don't know that unless you're tracking all this information, or at least we're tracking the information for you. So there you have it. That is the first 5 steps that you must take when you're building your college soccer foundation. And if you get one of these steps wrong, then you could be off course very, very quickly. And that one step could be slowing down your progress. So imagine your highlight video isn't very sharp, and your coaches are immediately discarding it before reading your resume or reading anything else. So you've got to get each one of these 5 steps spot on, and then we can progress into the next steps, which is things like phase 2, which is your targeted outreach and your execution, identifying clinics and then preparing to go on clinics. And then the final step to this entire journey is where the fun stuff happens. That's talking to coaches and getting on calls and visiting schools and then eventually evaluating offers. So as you can see, we've designed a community which takes you step by step by step through this entire journey. And it's not just throwing information at you and saying, read this, read that. It's walking you, holding your hand and walking you step by step through this. So if you're interested in this, there is a description down below, so you can just click that link. And at the moment, we're offering a ridiculously low price of $29 per month for founding members. And essentially what we're trying to do is we're trying to just get people into our community, committed families, and then we can tweak what's working for them, and we can talk about more guidance and what they really need. So take a look at the community links. And as I said, it's $29 at the moment, but the price is going to go up in the next month or so, probably to $59 a month. But your price is going to be locked in. So as an added bonus, we've connected with XG Game Changer Analytics. And what we're doing now is offering a free report which you can send to college coaches, which breaks down your game step by step by step, talking about your build-up play and your passing quality and your press resistance. Quinn is a center back, so how does he get out of the press? So this is next level stuff. So if you're interested, you actually get this report for free if you join our community today. So I hope this information helped, and I'll see you on the next video.